The Chicago drill music go way back to the year 2011 when rappers like Chief Keef, Lil Durk, Lil Reese started rapping about every happenings around the street of Chicago, especially the ongoing beef between the BDs and the GDs. Over time, we've listened to more Chicago drill rappers rapping different hood in Chicago. Most of these hood became rappers and even to a point of losing their members to the street beef. One of the famous beef was between the 63rd STL and the Parkway Gardens known as O Block, which is located on the South King Drive in Chicago. Also, these drill rappers have taken some of the street beef to their music lyrics. So, on this video, let us see some of the Chicago drill lyrics that actually happened.
He was dissing on my cousin, now his all in that wood.
On the 25th of May 2018, Mobile Crump was drilled by the Ops after dissing Lil Durk's cousin OTF MUSIC. Mobile Crump was a member of Drill City who was always dissing and mocking Lil Durk after losing his cousin Nuski. Crump went live to the same location where Nuski passed away and made a video which was made to mock Lil Durk's cousin Nuski. It wasn't long that his Ops caught him lacking and while he was attending a house party and he got drilled by the Ops.
Nuski. They left his right here. You feel me? How you can do when you party? How you can do when you party?
051 Melly was a member of the 051 Young Money and he got drilled during a house party which was hosted by FBG Duck on the 1st of September 2019. He was one of the biggest up to the 300 and the THF. He was drilled by someone he was close with, so it was believed that he got backdoored after someone gave out his location, and while partying, a man pulled up and dropped some heat on Melly and he passed away during the party.
Crump was doing all that woofing, he ain't even make it.
A Drill City member, Mobile Crump, was always making fun of his Ops. He made a video to mock OTF Lil Vanny who was paralyzed. And also, going to the same location, OTF Nuski got hit just to disrespect the OTF members. But sadly, this was the reason his Ops made him a target. On the 25th of May 2018, Mobile Crump was drilled by his rivals outside of a house party along with 054 Melly, even though Melly survived the hit, but Crump didn't make it.
Put the muscle in the chair, put a nigga in a wheelchair.
OTF Lil Vanny, Lil Durk athlete, was allegedly put to a wheelchair by a Mobile Crump athlete from Drill City. In 2018, Lil Vanny got hit several times, but he survived the hit. This was the reason Lil Vanny got paralyzed and he has been on a wheelchair ever since.
Nuski got with a stick on him, and Durk ran.
On the 1st of June 2014, Lil Durk and his cousin was outside, and while Nuski was waiting for Lil Durk in a car, some of their Ops pulled up and dropped some heat on OTF Nuski. A viral picture of Lil Durk running away from the scene surfaced online after seeing his cousin passed away.
They still ain't thank us for inventing O Block.
The name O Block was gotten from one of the active members of the Weak City, O.D. Perry, after he got drilled by someone from the STL EBT. O.D. Perry was a very active member, and when he passed away, his block, formerly known as the Weak City, was named after him to O Block. This was the same way Tuckerville was named, after Tucker from STL EBT passed away. On the 26th of September 2013, L.A. Capone, a member of the 600, he passed away at the age of 17 while he was coming out from the studio. His Ops from the 051 Young Money pulled up and dropped a hit on him after spotting L.A. Capone outside of the studio. FBG Dog was Von's favorite Op. They were making this song for themselves back to back. After dissing Von while he was outside of a clothing store, a car pulled up and dropped some heat on the 4th of August 2020.
Ain't no more FB.
A told on me before he got a longer sentence. I think they gave him 2080, rather talk than listen.
On the 29th of May 2014, both King Von and Big Mike, a member from O Block, were at a house party when a man named Malcolm Stocky was hit. Von and Mike were both arrested, while Big Mike cooperated with the feds by snitching on King Von. But since there wasn't enough evidence, Von got later released, but Big Mike was later sentenced to 28 years.
He survived one to the head, but it up his body.
On the 26th of October 2018, A member of the STL EBT, FBG Wooski, was hit while attending his friend's funeral Dusky, even though he survived the hit, but has actually changed his physical state.
We gon' talk about 600, we inspired them.
Most of the active members of the 600 have passed away, and most of them were drilled by the biggest up, the offer for Young Money. Shaq of the 600 got drilled back in 2012. Shaq was outside when Melly sneaked and dropped a hit on Shaq. Another active 600 member, Trix, was also drilled on the 1st of November 2012 by another offer for Young Money member, offer for Kido. LA Capone was also a 600 member who got drilled on the 26th of September 2013 while coming out from the studio. Some members from Offer for Young Money, Lil Meek and Rockhead spotted LA Capone and immediately pulled up and dropped some heat on LA.
You sent your little homie off now, 4K trade him, rolling loud.
Lil Durk athlete King Von was at a club in Atlanta on the 6th of November 2020. Von was trying to get into it with some of the 4KT members, but it never ended well for the rapper. Von passed away that night after one of the 4KT members dropped the hit on him.
Big Mo pick a side, so he gave us dope. Big Mo pick a side, so he gave us dope.
Big Mo used to hang around with the Offer for Young Money until he started to hang around with the THF, which were the biggest rappers to the Offer for Young Money. It was because of this that the Offer for Young Money caught and drilled him. During the funeral of Dusky, there was a drive-by which was believed to be a retaliation for one of the 600 members who also got drilled. Few days before that, King Von and FBG Wooski was on FaceTime, and Von told Wooski he got a surprise for him. It was after a few days later, during Dusky's funeral, some of the ops showed up and started to drop some heat on every member that were at the funeral. FBG Wooski was said to have been hit, but he survived.
We know that's for good.
Lil Mister was Lil Durk's cousin, but he was with Wooga Ward and were rivals to the 300. Despite being Lil Durk's cousin, both King Von and Lil Durk still never rocked with Lil Mister. Lil Mister passed away on the 13th of March 2019 after he was caught by the ops.
With THF, but I don't bleed the room.
Some members of THF took away chains belonging to Bad Down from 600. Despite they were allies with the 600 and the 300, this was the reason some of them stopped hanging around each other. Lil Durk was making reference to the beef between Bustop and Chief Keef. After Chief Keef fell out with O-Block, Bustop went into Keef's crib and took away some of his belongings.
Scared to come around when I pop out outside.
King Von pulled up to the 63rd looking for FBG Wooski after Wooski told Von to pull up. Later when Von pulled up, he was waiting for FBG Wooski to come outside, but Wooski never showed up.
My grandma raised me.